Hey you all, how are you? I hope you're doing amazing because I know that I am. And yes, I sound a little funny. I even sound funny to me, so I'm sure I'm sounding funny to you as well. So thank you so much for coming on, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Thank you so much for being amazing, for showing up to my lives, which I really appreciate. If you know someone needs some encouragement and this resonates with you, by all means, go ahead and share this with somebody, okay? I'm gonna tell you a quick story and then I'm gonna go on because I got some big things to do today, but I did not want the day to end without me sharing this with you today because it's been on my heart for a few weeks now. Hey, good morning, Sakinia. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. How are you? God bless you. Thank you so much for coming on. It's so good to see you guys. I have a whole bunch of brand new Facebook friends, so thank you so much for coming on. If you're brand new, my name is Catherine Storing, and I am the self-proclaimed content queen. I create content in the blink of an eye. Like if I do this, I already created something. So I'm the author of a whole bunch of books, and I'm gonna tell you a story about why and how it came to be that I stopped writing books and actually became really consistent and stopped the madness. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Let me see if I can invite somebody. Hold on one quick second. And because this is like my big sister. So let me invite her in. Hopefully she'll see that. But anyway, let me tell you what happened and how my whole life changed. And I realized that most of the time, our obedience is not even about us. I don't know if you knew that, but most of the time, our obedience is not even about us. I didn't know that, but that's what happens. So anyway, let me tell you what happened. I have been reading the book of Jeremiah for the last couple weeks, okay? For the last couple weeks. Let me know if you have read the book of Jeremiah. Just give me a thumbs up or type, yes, Catherine, I have read that book. It's not a fun book. It's actually it's a downer, okay? It's a downer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was supposed to finish that book a while ago, but when I got to chapter 10, I just had to quit it because it was such a downer. Everything that was happening to Jeremiah was just darkness and bad thing after bad thing. He kept getting beat up. It was just negative all around. Like everything that happened to Jeremiah was just not fun, okay? So I had to quit the book. I was like, oh my God, I'm done, okay? It was just too much. So I stopped reading the book, and then when I finished reading, good morning, good to see you, God bless you. When I finished reading what I was reading in the New Testament, I had to go back, and I read everything else up to Jeremiah, so I had to go back to Jeremiah. Okay, so hang in there because this story is gonna make sense. So I go back to Jeremiah, and I'm like, oh, why? I don't know why I stopped reading this. It's such a great book. And then I realized when one or two chapters in, oh, this is why I quit this book, because it's so dark. It's such a downer. All these things are happening to Jeremiah. Well, when I got to chapter 17 of the book of Jeremiah, I realized what God was doing. And the fact that, thousands of years later, there I am sitting in my living room early in the morning, reading all the things that he had to go through, just reminded me that many of the things that we go through is not even about us. It's just not even about us. So I'm reading the book, and God tells Jeremiah, okay, Jeremiah, go tell my people that they're being bad kids, and I'm going to beat them up. And maybe if they change their mind, maybe I'm not going to bring destruction to them. That's what he told them, right? That's like the Catherine version of what God told Jeremiah. So Jeremiah tells them that that's going to happen. They get mad. They don't change, and they're like, okay, we're gonna beat you up, we're just gonna kill you. And Jeremiah is like, who do you think you're talking to? And then he tells them again. I'm like, Jeremiah has some serious pants on. Like, the man had no fear. Like, they would harass him, they would talk about him, but he always went back to the word of God. He always told them what God wanted him to do every single time, no matter what. Time and time again. Listen to me. Time and time again, no matter what, Jeremiah kept showing up. And it was not even about Jeremiah. There are so many people that have been blessed by that book, by that story. And then that reminded me, and I'm glad that she came in. Good to see you, sis. My big sister reminded me of Jeremiah. Okay, last year she decided, because she's crazy like that, she decided that she was gonna do what God told her to do, and she decided to put on together the New Now Next Experience conference. Okay, and because she's my sister, she's like my oldest sister, but like a day, because she's like amazing, super young, awesome, right? So she's my older sister, so she's putting out the event. Okay, and I don't know if you ever put on an event. I did one years ago and it scared the bejesus out of me. It is hard. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you have ever tried to put on an event. It is crazy, okay? Anytime you try to do something that is big, that God has called you to do, there's going to be opposition. It's going to be opposition in the natural, and there's going to be opposition in the supernatural. Just let me know if you have ever experienced that. I just experienced that when I did my TEDx talk, my second one. The opposition was ridiculous. Like the attacks were coming from everywhere. Anyway, Tina Moore Brown, I don't know if you've seen her with her awesome hair and her awesome cute face. Anyway, she decides that she's going to do what God told her to do. And she decides to say yes. And she's going to do the New Now Next Experience. So she's my sister. I'm going to be there. It's in North Carolina, right? It's amazing. I love it there. So, of course, I'm going to be there. So I decided I'm just going to go hang out and see if I can help in any small way, okay? I'm not expecting anything. I just know that I need to be there. I don't know if you've ever been there where you have no expectation. I mean, not that I was not expecting her to do a good job. I just didn't have any expectation of what could happen. I just didn't know. So thank you so much for coming on. Author Michelle just shared the broadcast. If you need to remind somebody, that this is, that you need to be obedient no matter what, and it has nothing to do with you, do me a favor and go ahead and share the broadcast. I'm telling you, it's going to bless them, because the story is about to get even better. So anyway, yeah, it's not even of the world. You better say that. It was crazy. It was crazy. So we get to the experience, and most of the people there, it was mostly women and a few determined men. Most of the people there grew up in the church, okay? Now, you can tell I have an accent. You know that just so you know, I was not born in a black church, okay? And I was born in a very dignified, quiet, we love Jesus, like Jesus is our homeboy, but we just kept it on the download. We were quiet. We would just be like, amen, nobody can hear it. That's how I grew up, okay? Now, the way that my sister grew up, okay, the way that my older sisters grew up, they went down, okay? Whenever they worship God, they know how to go down. They were free to worship. So I show up to this environment, my little old self, quiet as it can be, right? I'm in this environment and everybody's worshiping, everybody's just going down. And I'm in the middle of the room because I was doing the social media, right? So I'm in the middle of the room and I'm experiencing this and I'm like, these people are free. These people are doing this thing. Now, they don't know all the things that Tina had to go through to make that happen, to create that environment. They had no idea, okay? They are at the space. They think it just happened. Like Tina decided to put this together, not knowing that God told her to. Oftentimes, we think that when we do what God tells us to do, it's going to be easy peasy. Just type me if that's you, because that's been me so many times. Okay, I'm being obedient, God. You told me to do this thing. It's about to be on. It's going to be amazing. Oh my God. Everybody's going to see it. Just let me know if you have to eat some humble pie after you have done what God told you to do, and then things did not go according to plan, or everything conspire against you. Just let me know if you have been there, because I know I have. Okay? So anyway, she's obedient. She puts up the thing. She gets the speaker. The thing is going. It's amazing. She got the best people ever. It was amazing, okay? I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. Oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at people and I'm like, thank you for your honesty, guys. I really appreciate that. I'm looking at people and I was not envious, but I was just looking from the outside in, hoping that I could be as free to worship as they were. And let me know if you ever experienced this, okay? I didn't have the freedom. I didn't know how to worship God like that. I just didn't know. I didn't know, okay? And I wanted to so badly. I didn't know how. Thank you for sharing, guys. You guys are amazing. I didn't know how to worship God like that. I was never taught. I was never taught that it was okay to do that, but I knew that I wanted to. I just didn't have the ability. There are levels to what we can do. And oftentimes we need to be in the right environment. It was like the perfect storm. My heart was ready. My mind was ready. I was willing. I was in the right place at the right time because Tina was willing to be obedient. Now, I'm sure she thought, I'm doing what God told me to do. This is going to be easy peasy. I'm sure she thought that. I'm sure she's like, you know what, God, you told me to do this thing. I'm going to be obedient. This thing is going to happen. The things that she had to go through to put that thing together, seriously, and it was not even about her. I mean, I know she was blessed. Lots of people were blessed, but can I just tell you right now that I got a lot out of it. A lot that I was not expecting. I did not know, but I was at the right place at the right time. Something happened, okay? One of the speakers, I don't even know who it was. Somebody prayed, somebody prophet. I think it was Pastor McNair. Was it right, Tina? I think it was Pastor McNair. Sorry about that, guys. She calls me up. She has no idea who I am. I have no idea who she is. She calls me up. She prays over me. I'm out cold. Out. I'm out. I don't know what's happening. That's never happened to me, okay? I was 42 years old at the time. Never ever happened to me in my life. I've been in church my whole life. I'm out. I don't know what's going on. I just know that God is awesome. I come to, and I'm not the same. Okay, I am just not the same. I went down one way. When I came back up, I was not the same. I just wasn't the same. All of a sudden, when Pastor Cassandra was worshiping, right, and we are worshiping, all of a sudden, I can worship just like everybody else. All of a sudden, the wall that was up, I don't know if it was in my heart. I don't know if there was something that God needed to do in my life. I don't know what happened. But all I know that all of a sudden I could worship and I could just do what everybody else was doing. I was in my own little thing and I'm like, what is going on? What is happening right now? All the things that Tina had to go through, all the things that Tina had to endure, and she was just being obedient and she thought she was doing it for herself and God blessed her and there were many people that did it. I need it. She needed to be obedient for me. She needed to be obedient for me and the people that I'm going to touch because of the freedom that I have experienced. And she had no idea. I had no idea that was going to happen. Like no idea. Zero idea that was going to happen. But I was there. She was willing to be obedient. She was willing to put up with the mental, okay? Because it's mental. And I think sometimes the mental is worse than the physical. You let me know. But I think that when you're dealing with mental attacks, the physical is bad, but the mental, nobody can see. They see you look cute, put together, dignified. They don't even know the attacks that you're going through at the moment. They don't even know the things that the enemy is telling you. And all they see is that you're moving forward. All they see is that you're saying yes to God, but they don't even know the things that are going on in the background. You just see the event and you think, oh, this is great. But you don't even know. Exactly, Tina. So if that was the end of it, I would have gotten my money's worth. If that was the end of it, that would have been just fine. But I'm at the event. It's last day. And then Mr. Felix goes on to preach and share and teach, right? And right before he leaves, he said something that changed my business, my personal life. It changed my relationship with God. It changed everything. He said one phrase. He would not leave the stage. He couldn't leave the stage until he said this one thing. I was sitting right in the middle of the room. And I'm listening and I'm sitting there and I got it. I caught it. I don't know if you've ever been at church or a conference, somebody said something and you know it's for you. Like for anybody else, maybe it meant nothing. Maybe they thought it was a great finish. Maybe they thought it was a good word, but it didn't arrest their soul. The way he said it, how he said it, it just arrested my soul. Okay? Are you with me? Has that ever happened to you? Somebody says something and then you're like, wow, that's for me. That's for me. So I leave the event. We go back to Tina's house. I am blown away. She's exhausted. And God begins to put together everything that happened at the conference. God begins to just weave this amazing blanket of awesomeness, and then I realized, okay, so what just happened there? Many people have done this before, and they don't think it's a big deal, but it is a big deal to me. I was not able to worship like that. Now I can. This is a new normal for me. I'm like, that's a new normal for me. What if everybody could have a new normal based on something that is not normal, that's normal to me? What if I could give people a new normal when something is like easy peasy for me? Like, what if that could happen? I began to write. Everybody went to bed. I'm typing like a mad woman, and I'm putting things together, and I'm just typing and I'm typing. And when I looked down, within a couple of hours, I had a full new book. I had a new system, a new process, a new book, a new everything. When Tina got up in the morning, I had a book cover, I had a sales page, I had a pre-order page, I had a sales pitch, I had a whole system laid out. It was done. It was done. But not only that, I had a new normal. I couldn't just go back to business as usual. Are you with me? Let me know if you're still with me. I couldn't go back to business as usual. I just couldn't. So that habit of me not going deep and not being consistent and write all those books, all of that was in less than 3 years. Book after book after book after book, and not going deep. Now, there's nothing wrong with those books. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. They're amazing, and they're helping a lot of people. But I needed to learn, like many of you do, that you need to be consistent. I can only imagine where I would be today if Tina had tried to put that event together, and when the opposition came, both physically and mentally, that she would say, rightly so, it is too hard. She could have said, Lord, I want to be obedient. I try to be obedient, but it's too hard. It's too hard. I would not be at the church that I am today, where I can worship and get down and not care and cry and worship. I mean, that's my favorite. And I'm not on the outside anymore. I'm not on the outside anymore. I can have a deep relationship with God, no matter who's watching, no matter where I am. It doesn't matter. We are closer than ever, because she didn't say, it's too hard for me. She didn't say, I already got this. This is my normal. You and I are tied. I try. I put it together. Nobody came. So, whatever. She didn't say that, because the obedience was not just about her. They are people attached to Tina Moore Brown, and she's my sister. Do you understand that? I'm so serious. I hope you're getting this, Tina, that you being obedient at that moment where everything that was going on, it was so hard because I was attached to that. Plus all the other people that have been released and enriched by this experience. And I love that you called it an experience. It's not just a conference, it's an experience. And the reason why it was so hard was because there were so many people attached to it. You were breaking so many chains. And the fight was so big because there were so many chains of religion breaking. There were so many chains of addiction breaking. There were so many chains of the mind breaking, that you were not just pushing for yourself. You were pushing for so many people. It was not just about you. So when I'm reading the book of Jeremiah and I'm seeing how hard he had to push, how many beatings he had to go through, how many attempts to his life, and that's why he was so down all the time, because he was doing everything that God told him to do, and the people hated him for it. They were persecuting him. They were talking badly about him, and all he was doing was the thing that God told him to do. Can I just tell you right now that God will put you in situations where you're doing everything that God has told you to do, and still things are not gonna go well, and still Things are not going to go well, but it is worth it. Can I tell you today that the name of Jeremiah is still spoken today? The acts that he did, the sermons that he preached, the many times that he told God's people to repent, to change. If you turn, if you change, I will change my mind. God said that so many times in that book. If you have not read the book of Jeremiah, I'm gonna encourage you to read it again because it is powerful. It is powerful. I cannot say that nobody showed me how to worship. I cannot say that having a relationship with God and doing what He's told me to do is worth it. I cannot say that because my sister showed me. Not with words. She didn't tell me. She didn't write it down. She lived it. I cannot say that if I'm obedient, not for me, but for the other people attached to me, I cannot say nobody showed me. I have no excuse. If I decided to just stop what I'm doing, if I decided to quit right now, I will have no defense. I will have zero defense. And many of you are in the same place. You have zero defense. God's people had zero defense because He sent prophet after prophet. For 23 years, Jeremiah told God's people to repent. 23 years. They had zero defense. Are you with me? Zero defense. Zero. Zero defense. Zero defense. Now, this is another year. This is 2019 now. I haven't written another book since August. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a long time, you know that I used to write a book, maybe a book a month. That's my speed. I can do it. It is my easy. And it's been hard not writing a book a month. It has been hard. It has been hard. I haven't written a book for myself. For my clients, I have. But for myself, I haven't written a book since August. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I haven't. Because I have a new normal. I have a new normal. I now know that I have to be consistent and stay deep with one thing. So I have not written another book. But this book right here is the best book I have ever written. This thing right here, do you know why? Because I remain consistent. Because I had to learn new ways to do this thing. Because there were things that I needed to change and add. I needed to grow. So this year, I'm not writing another book either. And I'm okay with that now. I am okay with that now. But while God was changing me and telling me that I had to concentrate on this alone for a year and a half, are you serious? What is God telling you to stop doing? You doing the most right now. I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna step all the way on your toes. I don't even care. I'm gonna step all the way on your toes. Are you doing the most in ministry? Everywhere? Like you're everywhere. You are in every ministry, doing the most. And you're like, God, I'm doing your bidding. God, I'm doing the things. I'm doing all the things. He hasn't called you to do all the things. He hasn't called you to do all the things. You're doing all the things, but you're ignoring the one thing He told you to be consistent at and the one thing He told you to go deep in. Are you with me? Are you hearing what I'm saying? And I hope this is messing you up and I hope you're mad at me. I don't even care. I don't even care. He told you to do one thing and to do it all the way well. All the way well. So this year, do you know what I'm doing? The Teacher Easy podcast. The Teacher Easy course. The Teacher Easy virtual retreat. The Teacher Easy in-person retreat. No books. No books. I'm not teaching anything else. I'm not creating anything else. All that I'm doing is to teach your easy. That's it. If I preach, what am I going to preach about? Teach your easy. Embrace your calling. If I do anything, what is it going to be about? Teach your easy. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to do. What is Tina doing? She's doing the New Now Next experience in Atlanta. That's what she's doing. because she did the New Now Next experience in North Carolina. So what is she doing? The New Now Next experience. The last one was hard. I can only imagine the level that she's bringing people to now. So I can only imagine how big this baby is. I mean, I carry a big baby, okay? Are you with me? Oh, those of you that are mothers, I only have one daughter, and she was 8 pounds, 17 ounces. 8 pounds, 12 ounces. 8 pounds, 12 ounces. This little girl, thank God I did not have to push her. That's a big baby. So Tina birthed something really big last year, and now she's going even bigger. The opposition has to be bigger because now there's even more people assigned to what she's doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is important for you to be obedient, and the way God works is never just about you. That's why it takes time. When we are blessed, it takes time because it's not just about you. You need to be in the right environment. You better believe that even though I am able to worship God like I never worshiped before, even though I'm able to preach, like even my preaching changed, the way that I preach changed, because I'm free. I'm able to do it in different ways now. I know there's another level for me. I know this, and I've been a Christian a very long time. There's another level for me. I'm going to be in the right environment where I can learn, where I can hear from God, and I can get my new level. I'm going to Atlanta. Even though I was there in North Carolina, I'm going to Atlanta. I need my new level. This is my level of obedience now to be there. And I just want to thank Tina for creating the container. And most of the times we think that we have to fill up the container. All we need to do is create the container. And then God takes care of filling it up. So the container is the experience. It is our job to get ourselves there. Show up and with a willing and open heart, and He'll take care of everything else. He will take care of everything else. That's it. That's all you have to do. You got to be obedient. So I don't know where you live. I know that flying to the ATL is the easiest place ever. I've been doing that for the last 5 years. There is the link that you can sign up. I love the fact that this year there's a new level for business, and I love that. Even though my business is at a different level, I know it's time for the upgrade. I know that it's time for the upgrade, and I'm ready for it. I know it's gonna wreck me in the best way possible. It's gonna wreck me. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. If you are not satisfied with where you are, if you're thinking, God, I'm doing all the things and it's not working, it's maybe because you're operating in an old place where you should have graduated a long time ago. I don't know. But I can tell you the results of obedience, you can't beat it. It's like an unfair advantage. It's like an unfair advantage. Tina, I am so excited for this. I'm praying for you. Every morning I get up, I'm praying for you. I'm excited for what God is doing. I know that you are going through the burden pains, but when you know how it is. You have 2 babies. You go through all of that, and then you see that baby, and you're like, you were worth every push. You were worth every heartburn, every backache, every migraine, everything. Thank you so much for creating the container, because I have a new normal that I now get to teach to other people from the pulpit and from the business. How amazing is that? And all that came from your obedience. All of that. Now, there's not something special about Tina. There's not something special about Tina. She's just being obedient. She's not supernatural. She's not Wonder Woman. She's just a woman. She's a woman of faith. She's a woman of faith. There's nothing that Tina can do that you cannot do. And that's nothing against her. I'm just letting you know that I don't want you to see her as this person. And of course, Tina did it. No, you can do it too. And you're called to do it too. Not the same way, but you're called nevertheless. I'm called too. Ain't nothing special about me either. I get scared just like everybody else. I get attacked. You better believe that I get attacked just like everybody else. But I have grace like everybody else. I am blessed like everybody else. She is fly. Yes, she is. You better say that, Kiki. Yes, she is. We have the same help. We have the same God. We have the same resources available to us, the same angels assigned to us. All we got to do is be obedient, not for us, but for the people attached to us. This is serious business, y'all. This is serious business. This is not to be messed around with. This is serious. I don't want to get to heaven and say, there could have been another 1,000 people here, but because you didn't speak, they're not here. There could be another one person here, but because you were not obedient when I told you to do something, they're not here. I don't want that. You know what? You gave 80%. That 20% could have made all the difference. That 20% was everything. And you just felt like you didn't have to do that 20%? Seriously? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, you did good. I'm so proud of you. That's what I want to hear. From Jesus? Are you serious? That's what I want to hear. You did good. Listen, you all butted up. You got beat up and chewed up, but you did good. You did everything I told you to do. You did it. You did it. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear anything else. I want him to be proud of me. I want him to say, I gave you those gifts and they were not wasted on you. Can you imagine? Jesus say, I gave you that and you didn't even use it. I gave you a new normal and you didn't even use it. I don't know how you were when you were a kid, but when my parents were disappointed at me, that was worse than if I got a beating. You let me know. But if they ever said they were disappointed in me, oh, that was just like a knife. Like, just give me the beating. Don't even tell me that. Just give me the beating. Don't tell me you're disappointed on my performance. That's the worst that any parent can say to their son or their daughter. The worst. I don't want to hear that. I want him to say, thank you for being obedient. I'm going to be in the ATL. I hope you're there. It's the first week of March. It's going to be amazing. It's 7th, 8th, right, Tina? You can get all the information there. It's going to be amazing. I have a new normal and I'm ready to have even another one. I'm excited to worship, to get down. It's going to be amazing. All because one woman decided to be obedient. That's huge. One person can change the trajectory of a lot of people. One person. Imagine if more one persons decided to do that. There will be an effect that will just transform the whole entire world. Yeah, the VIP day is the best day. I'm excited about that. The 2 days are great. The VIP day is gonna be amazing. If you have a faith-based business, you need to be there. So VIP day and then March 8th and 9th, general sessions. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to get down with you guys. Take a picture with you. Say hello. Praise with you and pray with you. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Tina, thank you so much for creating the container. Thank you for the New Now Next experience. Thank you for your obedience. Thank you for being my big sister. Thank you for teaching me things that I need to learn when I have all my questions. What does that mean? And what does that mean when they do that? You know what I'm talking about. She answers all my questions. And I have many, many questions. So thank you for that. I have a new normal. I'm teaching my easy. And it's just awesome. Exactly. It's my pleasure. Thank you. You are very welcome. Thank you, guys. If you got here late, watch the whole thing. It will bless your whole entire life. You need to be obedient. You need to be obedient for the people assigned to you. So if you got here late, sorry I did not say hello. I had to get through the story. You know what happens when I get through. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being amazing. You know, I had to go in. That's how God uses me, okay? That's just the way it works. So thank you so much. I'll come back and say hello and good morning and thank yous. But this is the word of God. Just take it. Just do it. Just do it. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. My hair is still wet. That's what happens when it's wet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. God bless you guys. I cannot wait to see you in the ATL. It's going to be amazing. I love you. I'm rooting for you. And I'll see you super duper soon, okay? Bye.